Last month, Nepal's Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba took a vow. He wanted to defend all disputed territories.
The government of Nepal is always ready to defend its territories. The areas of Limpiadhura, Lipulekh and Kalapani are Nepalese, and the government of Nepal has firm understanding about it. The issue of border is sensitive, and we understand that these issues can be resolved through dialogues and talks through diplomatic channels.
Limpiadhura, Lipulekh and Kalapani. Deuba was referring to these three territories and a long-standing and highly controversial dispute with India. Just like his predecessors, Deuba was talking tough, painting India as Nepal's enemy. Now take a look at these pictures. What you see is a Chinese canal on Nepalese land. China is building fences at the border. It is restricting the movement of people, and this is a serious violation of Nepal's sovereignty. Has Kathmandu said anything about this? Has it tried to defend its land? The answer is no. What Nepal is doing instead is reportedly trying to cover this up. And these pictures are part of a secret report, a report that Kathmandu is yet to publish. WION has managed to access the report. It confirms what the world has long known. China is violating Nepal's sovereignty. On Gravitas tonight, we'll look at the proof of China's encroachment. Our story begins in 2021. There were growing reports of Chinese encroachment in Nepal, so the government of Nepal decided to investigate. They created a task force. And this team, this task force, went to the Humla district. Humla is in Nepal's far east. And these are the investigations who went as part of the task force. They're officials from Nepal's government and police. What do you think they found in Humla? Chinese encroachment. They prepared a report. We've accessed that report, and I have a copy with me. Let me tell you what the report says. China has been conducting surveillance activities on Nepalese lands. Chinese security forces were spotted in Lalungjong. This is on Nepal's side of the border with China. This is what the task force found. China has also restricted movement of people in this area. It does not allow locals to graze their animals. It is also controlling the movement of pilgrims. You see, Lalungjong holds great religious significance. It is close to Mount Kailash. And Mount Kailash is one of the most sacred religious sites for Hindus and Buddhists. So pilgrims pass through Lalungjong to reach Mount Kailash. But China has now restricted all of this. It has also built a fence around a border pillar and attempted to construct a canal and a road on Nepal's side of the border. All of this, all of what I just said, is mentioned in the report, the one that the task force prepared. They also took photographs. And this is hard evidence of China's encroachment. We took this report to Nepalese experts, and they say there is no doubt that China has encroached on Nepal's land.
This is a kind of violation of boundary lines between Nepal and China, according to the international boundary principles.
This is bilateral border, and bilaterally it should be solved. It cannot change unilaterally, either by China or by Nepal.
The evidence could not have been clearer. And let me remind you, this report was not prepared by a journalist or a think tank or some expert. It was prepared by a government task force. It is an official admission that China is swallowing Nepal's land and Nepal is vulnerable because Beijing can easily change facts on the ground. Nepal and China share a 1,400-kilometer long border. It runs along the Himalayan mountains. Most of the border areas are hard to reach. So there is no proper surveillance. Plus the border is porous. There is no fencing. The boundary is demarcated by a chain of pillars, and these pillars are set several kilometers apart. These pillars are perhaps the only way to identify the border between Nepal and China. Guess what China did? In 2020, one of the pillars went missing. That's when China ended up constructing 11 buildings. These two were said to be inside Nepal's territory. Who lives in these buildings? 10 structures are empty. One of them is occupied by Chinese security officials. This is according to a report from 2020. We have not been able to verify these claims independently, but we do know that Kathmandu wants to probe the missing pillar.
The report that was formed by a team has sought a joint inspection of the missing pillar, wiring and the fencing put up by the Chinese along the border. Meanwhile, on multiple occasions, the Chinese embassy here in Kathmandu has denied the encroachment. Saloni Murarka for WION World is one in Kathmandu, Nepal.
There is no doubt that China is encroaching on Nepalese territory. There is photographic evidence and a comprehensive report by a government task force. For any leader, this should be good enough to summon the top diplomat of China and demand an explanation. But Nepal's government is sitting on this report. It was ready last year, the report. But Kathmandu kept it hidden from the world. It has not published it yet. So here's a question for Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba, who vowed to defend Nepal's land. Why is he silent about China's encroachments? WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.